What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Remy Ma embarrassing herself. Reportedly, Remy Ma was arrested outside of a courthouse because she got into a verbal altercation with a young lady by the name of Jasmine Dior. Jasmine Dior is the daughter of a man that her son is in jail now and accused of taking the life of. That story happened a couple of years ago, and this particular guy is 47-year-old. He was a well-known guy in the streets, right? I think he also has a connection to Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty. But people were saying that could have been a hit for hire, and that's why her son and another gentleman are sitting in Rikers Island now. So they're outside this courthouse and they're getting into it. And I'm seeing a lot of people, especially a lot of you heifers, in the comment section taking Remy Ma's side. Like she didn't do nothing wrong. Were y'all in the courtroom? Because y'all got to understand something. The girl didn't just show up at the courthouse talking crazy to Remy. They were all in the courthouse together. And I think what happened outside of the courthouse stemmed from what probably happened in there. But see, y'all wouldn't know that because you're so blinded by your support of a woman who went to prison for almost taking another woman's life. That don't matter to y'all. That don't matter. Y'all think it's funny that she almost took another woman's life over some money. Y'all think that's funny. This is why no one takes y'all seriously when y'all try to play the victim. This is why nobody takes y'all seriously. The life of a black woman doesn't mean anything unless it's taken by a black man or a white man. Now, all of a sudden, you're the least protected. You know, you're the victims. But when you have women who harm other women, you think it's funny. But be that as it may, I believe that this verbal altercation stemmed from what had happened inside the courthouse. This young lady was upset, like any of y'all would be. And you heifers who are in the comment section of the Shade Room and these other places who are mad at the daughter for having emotion over what happened to her father in broad daylight, you would be upset too. And y'all are just pretending that you wouldn't be upset at the killer's family. We've seen families go at each other in court. It happens. It always has happened. Will you expect her to just stand there and not say nothing to Remy when Remy is probably looking at her crazy talk? We don't know what happened in the courthouse. We just know what happened outside of it. Y'all acting like this girl just pulled up and just started talking crazy to her. When we know Remy, with her, who's very narcissistic, we know that she likes to gaslight because we've seen it with Papoose. We've seen her gaslight him. So I have no doubt that she was in that courthouse gaslighting that girl and her family, which is why she was upset. That girl has every right to be upset. She has every right. She lost her father to a knucklehead. Okay? And people are saying, well, it's alleged he's innocent until proven guilty. Well, him and another man were arrested. And again, I believe this crime happened in 2022. The arrest was made, this year, I believe? Correct me wrong, this year. So that lets me know that the detectives working the case, they worked the case, they found evidence, and that's why they arrested them. Which means they feel like they have a solid case against them. But nobody wants to hold Remy Ma accountable for not being a good mother to him. It's very funny to me how she brought up Papoose' son, who I believe may be trans or gay. She brought up Papoose' son when she was going at Papoose. Papoose never brought up her son. Did y'all notice that? Papoose never brought up the fact that her son is sitting in jail and could go to prison for a very long time. He never brought her son up. But you know what she did? She brought his son up. And y'all defend that. Y'all are okay with her bringing up his kid. But if he was to bring up her kid, y'all would be angry. See, Remy reminds a lot of y'all of yourselves. That's why y'all are taking these irrational stances. So you mean to tell me that a girl that lost her father doesn't have a right to be upset? It's misplaced anger. Oh, what do you mean? Misplaced anger. Families are angry at other families all the time for what one person did. It's called a ripple effect. Two families become enemies instantly. That is what happens. You don't have to like it, but unless you've lost somebody due to weapon violence to another person, those families are going to be butting heads with each other, especially if they're not condemning the behavior. It's different if Remy would have condemned the behavior of her son, but has Remy condemned the behavior of her son? No, she has not. But here y'all are fighting in the comment section. Again, unless you know loss, you will know how that girl feels. She's still a young girl. I believe Remy's son is older than that girl. We don't know what was said in the courtroom. Y'all are just assuming that Remy was on her best behavior. Y'all don't know that. And if her son did it, he deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. He deserves it. Let's get into this. Remy Ma found herself in a heated exchange outside a Queens courthouse on Tuesday with the daughter of the victim that her son Jason is accused of taking the life of. The conversation took place on the courthouse steps where her 23-year-old son is currently facing charges in connection with the 2021 murder. Scott was arraigned this month on a 7-count indictment. Let me tell you something about these indictments. I've seen so many stories of RICOs being done for this gang, that gang. They get a lot of convictions or they get plea deals. The only way her son has a chance is if he takes a plea deal, including first and second degree hit, reckless endangerment, and 4 counts of criminal possession of weapon. Because you got to understand, this crime happened in broad daylight. So other people were put at risk due to this reckless behavior. Amid the legal proceedings, a video captured a heat exchange, Remy being confronted by a woman who goes by the name Jasmine Dior. In the argument, Dior accused the rapper of acting tough and then told her to go around the corner so they could get physical without police intervening. Remy, unbothered, responded, "Come on, beat me up," before the video cut out. Remy ran down the stairs. She didn't go around the corner. Listen, I'm not here to say that, people should be fighting. The one place you should not fight is at a courthouse, which is probably why Remy got arrested. Remy wanted to fight in front of the courthouse instead of going down the street, and that's why this was captured on video.
Trying to beat you up too. Trying to beat you up. Come downstairs. You in front of the courthouse trying to act like you're tough.
Sound.
Yeah, stop.
Sound.
Yeah, let's go around the corner. Let's go around the corner. Come on, let's go around.
Oh, let's see.
Turn around. Like your mother's ugly?
Turn around.
Like your mother's ugly?
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just watch.
Yeah, okay. We could test her right now.
Now, I want y'all to understand something. Why is Remy standing outside talking to a girl half her age? That girl that she's arguing with is twice her age. And you got people in the comment section who think that it's okay for Remy, a grown woman with an adult son who's in prison, who's in jail, that she should be arguing with a 20-something-year-old. How would it look if a man in his 50s is arguing with a dude in his 20s in front of the courthouse? How would that look? Why are you arguing with this girl? See, Remy in her mind thinks she's in her 20s. That's why she's out here recklessly ruining her marriage.
Right now, ugly. Everything. Oh, you thought you was gonna see something ugly, bitch. You wasn't. But you wasn't. Same here. You see what's up?
Y'all hear this
Same.
juvenile argument? Now, is the young girl antagonizing her? Yes. She's antagonizing her, but again, I think this all stems from inside the courthouse. All this stems from inside the courthouse. that just spilled over outside. Now, I don't know if they had recess. I don't know if they've ended court proceedings, but this is probably why police need to be outside these courthouses to make sure that people disperse. Now, you expect people to be, again, I'm not absolving this young girl of anything. She was antagonizing her, but Remy should have walked away. Instead of running down the stairs, Remy, you should have left the courthouse. But you stood there because you're very immature, you're a narcissist, and you got to get the last word. And now you're talking about looks. You're talking about looks. Your son is going to be on trial for taking somebody's life, and this is what you're outside the courthouse doing.
Yeah, you see what's up? Oh, okay.
A separate clip showed the conceited MC handcuffed and flanked by police officers because she made a threat. That's why she got arrested, because she probably made threats. Though the cause of her detainment was not immediately confirmed, in a follow-up post, Dior addressed the altercation saying, "You would have thought I did something to you," expressing frustration over what she perceived as a lack of empathy from the rapper. "Realistically, I can never speak to my father again. You can see your son." See, that's what I'm saying. She should have denounced her son's behavior, because, listen, Remy knows if her son is guilty. She knows, because I'm pretty sure he's told her. What she should have said was, "I don't agree with this. I want to support my son, but I can empathize with the family. I hope the family finds." She probably done that because Remy's such a narcissist, and she probably hates other women. As soon as she saw that man's daughter, she saw red. She saw red. Dior went on to accuse Remy of glaring at her during the proceedings, claiming the rapper carried herself as if her son were the victim. "Miss, where's your remorse?" she asked her followers. See, that's the thing. Because Remy's a narcissist, she thinks because she got away with 7 years for almost taking somebody's life, you know, she feels like rules don't apply to her, and that, you know, she, in her eyes, her son is a victim. You know, that's just the way that these women are like her. That's why I don't feel any type of sympathy towards Remy, because Remy's her own worst enemy. Prosecutors allege that Scott, along with an alleged co-conspirator Richard Swigert, was hired to take the life of 47-year-old Darius Gillibo in Queens on June 7th of 2021. According to authorities, Scott struck Gillibo multiple times, even after the victim had already fallen. Surveillance footage and phone records reportedly helped the investigators tie both men to the scene. So he's cooked. He is cooked. While Remy has maintained publicly silent about the incident, she has consistently supported her son throughout the ongoing trial. If convicted, Scott faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. His alleged accomplice Swigert is already serving time for a separate murder. So this is the type of dudes he hangs around. Mother of the decade, right? Who y'all are out here defending. This who y'all defending. Papoose could have brought her son up. He never did. Papoose is a stand-up guy, because if a woman's gonna bring up my children, trust me, I'm gonna bring up hers, especially if they are adults. I'm not talking about young children, but if I have an adult child and she's talking about my adult child and the decisions that my adult child made, trust and believe I'm gonna bring up the decisions that her adult child made. I'm like, well, you talking about my child's choices. What about yours? Where is he at? But you're a great mother. You're a great person. This is where she's at, and you got people defending her behavior, which it don't surprise me, because they see themselves in Remy. So of course they don't want to call her out. But she embarrassed herself. That's why she got handcuffed. She was probably out there making threats because she knew that girl was going to whoop her ass. So she probably was screaming and hollering, making threats so that the police would come over there. Remy not trying to fight nobody. When have y'all ever heard Remy fighting anybody? Go fight Clarissa Shields. Remy, go fight her. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, like the video, and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out all the other videos on the channel. Check out the Patreon. I'll see y'all next one.